Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Halsey here from SlimmandStylish.stampingup.net. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all. I've had an amazing April on my channel and also through my store. Probably the best that I've had, so a real big thank you to everybody who supported me, really appreciated. If you are new and you found my channel, please do hit subscribe, honestly, it really means a lot. And as always, everything I'm using in the video is available from my store, SlimmandStylish.stampingup.net. So today I'm using the Biggest Wish and the Colour and Contour stamp sets. Now I do enjoy using the Biggest Wish, but it doesn't have any images with it. So I've teamed up with Colour and Contour, which does have sentiments with it. However, they're not as big and not as fun as the Biggest Wish sentiments. So for this card, I'm going to be doing some no line blending. Now I know you normally hear me do no line watercolouring, but today I'm going to be doing it with the blends. So I'm using soft sea foam and I want to get a really light imprint. So I was just testing that on a piece of scrap. So I'm stamping off first and then I'm stamping it onto my card. So you can see it's quite light. It's not obvious. It's not like, hello, here I am, which is great because I'm going to be colouring over the top of this so you won't see it anyway. So I'm starting out with dark Highland Heather and I'm doing about 1 centimetre up on the letters. Okay, so I'm just going over the soft sea foam bit. I can obviously see the marks where I'm going and I'm doing about 1 centimetre, 1/4 of an inch up. Now I'm really going to be playing with 4 different colours here. So I'm going to be using the light Highland Heather, the dark Daffodil Delight and also the Ivory. And it's going to be going up as dark Highland Heather, light Highland Heather, Daffodil Delight and then the Ivory. But what I've decided to do is do the Daffodil Delight after the dark Highland Heather. So you can see here that my light Highland Heather is going to be merging in between the Daffodil Delight and the dark Highland Heather. So it actually does create a ombre effect. And then I'm using the Ivory to go over the entire thing. So while I am doing the top, I'm going over the entire thing to make sure it's blended in quite nicely. And it creates sort of that mustard effect that goes down into the purple. And I love it. So as it was looking choppy and chunky before, this just brings the blending in together. And it's a great effect. Now you could do this on lots of things. You could do this on full block stamps, you know, where you've got like a flower or something and it's a full sort of image of it. And you could go over the top and colour it in so it's no line blending. But I've done it on the words here and I just loved it. I really liked the effect of it. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my masking paper eventually. So I'm going to be stamping in Friends. What I was going to say is this is a nice face. It's like a typeface, that friend. I got tongue-tied. So I'm going to be using the... this is our masking paper. Now our masking paper is really, really tacky, right? So if you're using this, make sure you stick it off. You'll see what I mean. Stick it on to a sleeve, onto your tablecloth, onto some sort of fabric. Stick it 3 or 4 times just to get some of that tack off. The problem with it is while it's really good, and it is good, it does not budge, it stays in place, and it doesn't bleed through either. Our masking paper is very good. It is also really, really strong. And if you don't tack it off first, like I was doing on my jumper, you're going to ruin your card because it will pull the card away as well. It's really strong. So I'm using this sort of Gerbera Daisy from the contour set and I'm stamping this down and I'm also using this lovely grunge piece. I love this piece. It is honestly just a splatter effect and it's so cute. So I'm going to be stamping this around the card. And first of all, I thought I was going to stamp it just around the sentiment. But then I thought the bottom bit looks a bit naked. So I decided to stamp down there as well. So I filled it in. Okay. Then I'm going to be colouring it in. So within the middle of the flowers, I'm using dark Daffodil Delight. And my Daffodil Delight is starting to run out. So it's actually gone quite light. So it's actually no different between the light Daffodil Delight, and that's why I went and got a new one and added that in. And then I'm using Pool Party, and this is light Pool Party that I'm going over the top with. and I'm colouring in the flowers. There's no point colouring the bit that's on the masking paper because you're going to be pulling that off. So just colour in the bits that's actually on the card. And this is a scraggly flower, as in not all the ends meet, not all the edges meet. It's scraggly. So make your colouring scraggly. Match. And then you can pull off the masking paper. And as I said, it is a real tacky masking paper, okay? So that's why it's really good to have it pre-stuck down first. And when you pull it off, none of the images are over the sentiment, which is great. So I've got my pool party here and I've got my blending brushes here, and I am going to town over the images, okay? So I'm controlling this a little bit so it's not hitting the sentiment as much. I'm going quite light over that and pushing down hard when I'm on the flowers. But yes, I'm just grunging the background up. And that is pretty much the card. I really liked the effect of it, and I loved the blending of the words. I just thought it was so much fun. But because I'd put everything on and it had really started to fade into the background, I went back over it with the ivory blend again, just to make sure it really popped out, because that's the bit that I wanted. I didn't want that to blend into the background. And there we go. What do you think? I'm trimming the edges off slightly. And what I'm doing here is, this was a 10.5 by 14.8 piece of cardstock. I'm trimming this down, so this is going to be 8.5 centimetres wide by the time I finished it. And then I guesstimated this, and I just chopped, hoping that it would work right on the cardstock, and magically it did. So I'm just popping it onto a piece of Highland Heather cardstock, sticking it down, and I'm then going to cut that out. And you can see this is total guesswork. I didn't know the length I cut this because my guillotine doesn't work like that. It's not long enough. And then when I actually stuck it onto the card, it fit perfectly. I was really chuffed. It fit quite in the centre and it had a frame around it. So it worked out quite well for me. This is the card base, and I've already got it cut, I've already got it scored, I'm just burnishing it. And as you can see, it sat on there perfectly as a good frame. But I did decide to offset it anyway and put it on a diagonal, because I just thought that was a bit more kooky and fun. So what do you think? No line blending. A bit different to no line watercolouring, but still really effective, I thought. And there is pretty much my finished card. I'm going to be adding some embellishments on it just to really make it pop. So there's a few different ones that I could have picked here, but I decided to go with these ones. These were from the mini catalogue, but have carried over onto the annual catalogue, and they've got this bright popping blue on the side. It's more a balmy blue than a pool party, but it works on this card. And they've also got the Daffodil Delight ones, so I'm going to be popping those on with it as well. And that's the finished card. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I really enjoyed making this one. Really did. Great fun, using the Colour and Contour and Biggest Wish stamp sets. And here's the finished project. Thank you for joining me. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. Everything I've used today is available from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop me a like or leave me a comment. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and come back for more content. I also have an Instagram page that I'm trying to grow at the same time. It's at SlimmandStylish, and every like or follow helps. Thanks everybody for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.